Paris 2024 Paralympic Games are almost upon us. The opening ceremony just a few minutes away. More than 4,000 athletes have come to compete in nearly 550 medal events. The Champs-Élysées and the Place de la Concorde stand ready to host a welcome unlike any other. I'm Steve Rabilliard alongside Lisa O'Sullivan and Paralympian Rob Snook. We sense France will not waste this moment to create history and push for change.
Welcome to Golden Hour in the heart of Paris, one of the most beautiful cities in the world. A late summer evening awaits, the shadows beginning to lengthen, and the City of Light is ready to take centre stage. This is Paris 2024 Part 2. There have been some incredible opening ceremonies for the Paralympics, but let's face it, artistic teams have struggled to disguise the dull, functional grey concrete on the inside of stadiums. Artistic director of this ceremony, Alexander Ekman, really has been given the most incredible canvas to work with. The weather's nice, we've got tens of thousands of people lining the street, ready to play their part in this historic event.
You know, very early in my career in Paralympic sport, I competed in France. We're talking way back in 1990, and I still remember how incredibly well they supported the athletes with a disability. Just as we came in the stadium, and I know they will support these games. For starters, we know that over 2 million tickets have been sold, and most purchased by French citizens. I can't wait.
Yes, tonight we'll be reminded of where we've come from and perhaps where we need to go to accept, understand and embrace people with disability. To that end, this evening's ceremony will send out several powerful messages, especially one which calls for inclusivity in society at all levels. Sport will play its part over the next 10 days, showing a way forward. The challenging truth is that all parts of society need to follow that path.
During the Olympic Games here just a few weeks ago, I couldn't help but notice the crossover between the two games, and I made a comment out loud that I think it was more Paralympic exposure that I'd ever seen during the Olympic Games, and that was a very good sign. You know, Barcelona, Sydney, London were past games that really.
Mesdames et messieurs, la cérémonie va bientôt débuter. Merci de regagner votre place.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will be starting shortly.
It's way past time we made simple changes to create a better local environment, one that's more inclusive, more accessible, better for everyone. Sports fans know how it brings desperate and disparate groups together, and how it's often the catalyst for a different way of perceiving and of doing things.
A huge crowd anticipating what's about to unfold here. All singing, all dancing, assault on the senses against a cultural and architectural backdrop that no other city can match. Genuine excitement around the city, around the country, around the world as Paralympics are about to begin. 3,000-year-old obelisk standing prominent.
Lots to happen around that this evening.
Merci de regagner votre place.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Shaping up as a
ceremony will be
perfect
starting shortly.
Night
Please take your
for it
seats.
as well. It's been hot during the day, it's cooling down. A beautiful sunset coming, timed to coincide with the entry of the athletes. It's just moments away. We do hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Pourquoi? Je sais pas. Je suis complètement perdu en fait.
Vous allez regarder ces images, Théo, et me dire ce que vous voyez.
C'est une mascotte? Pourquoi je vois une mascotte? C'est encore une mascotte?
Encore une mascotte?
Oui. Mascotte.
Théo. Quoi? Et si vous libériez cette mascotte qui est en vous?
Je crois que j'ai compris. Je vais être le taxi des Jeux Paralympiques de Paris 2024. Elle est prête.
Centrale pour Théo, on a des athlètes paralympiques à récupérer, tu peux t'en charger s'il te plaît?
Hello, comment ça va?
Salut, ça va et toi?
Tu ressens quoi en fait là, avant de participer à ces Jeux?
Bah jamais j'aurais pensé faire ça.
Ouais.
Et j'y suis quoi.
C'est énorme hein?
Ouais, c'est énorme.
C'est porteur, c'est encourageant et on sent qu'il y a une émulation dans le pays.
Qu'est-ce que je peux te souhaiter?
De belles émotions, un beau souvenir qui brille bien.
J'ai trop hâte d'y être. Puis là en plus dans cette voiture avec les petites peluches partout, j'avoue que ça me fait un truc. On a envie de faire vivre à un maximum de personnes ce qu'on vit au quotidien. Le principal c'est pas de participer, c'est de se surpasser.
On a la chance de pouvoir faire de la compétition dans un musée à ciel ouvert, nous, en triathlon. Donc les images vont être magnifiques. Et les Jeux Paralympiques à la maison, tu les sens comment, toi?
Ça va être un moment exceptionnel. C'est un truc que je pense qu'on ne revivra pas deux fois.
Qu'est-ce qu'on peut te souhaiter pour ces Jeux à la maison?
La réussite, des émotions et que les gens retiennent en fait que c'était des Jeux juste incroyables et qu'ils aient encore envie de regarder du parasport à la télé et de plus en plus.
Tu vas aller chercher cette médaille d'or aux Jeux de Paris 2024?
Oui.
Où?
Chez nous.
Où ça?
À la maison.
Et
au Stade de France.
Au Stade de France.
Chez nous.
J'avais pas vu l'heure, mais je vais être en retard, moi.
Ce soir, c'est la cérémonie d'ouverture des Jeux Paralympiques. 65 000 personnes sont attendues.
Oh là 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 là. Pas de stress, pas de stress. T'as qu'une phrase à sortir, Théo, t'as qu'une phrase. Alors on se concentre. Welcome to Paris. 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 Allez, c'est bon. Tu l'as. Ça va le faire.
Mesdames et messieurs, le président de la République française, Emmanuel Macron, accompagné du président du Comité international paralympique, Andrew Parsons.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the French Republic, Emmanuel Macron, accompanied by the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Andrew Parsons.
The first cultural and creative segment tonight opens the theme of paradoxes, leading us from discord to concord. Artist Chili Gonzalez will be at the piano. We'll focus throughout the evening on two groups, the creative gang and the strict society, who approach life with different views about people living with disabilities.
The theme is paradox, discord and concord. And it's a theme that's going to run through the whole of the ceremony. And let's address the paradox of an Egyptian obelisk in the centre of a modern television spectacular. The Luxor obelisk was created in the 13th century BCE. It's the oldest monument in Paris. And it's going to be centre stage as we see the beginning of this performance. We're going to see a journey from misunderstanding to mutual respect. We have our creative gang ready to express themselves in every way, and we've got those in the suits, the strict society. This story's just going to unfold throughout the evening. Now we welcome to the stage the French artist Christine and the Queens.
monochrome silhouettes of strict society are symbolising rigidity. The more colourful and festive garments of the creative gang represent freedom. Joining the party early, the French precision aerobatics team, Patrouille de France.
Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez accueillir les athlètes des Jeux paralympiques de Paris 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes of the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games.
Well, it's the first time in the history of the Paralympic Games that the opening ceremony is taking place outside the stadium. It's in the heart of the host city, and the teams will be coming in according to protocol. And that is in French alphabetical order, with a little few differences at the end. A glorious shot up the Champs-Élysées, the Arc de Triomphe in the distance. A lot of excitement there. And as the athletes come in at the foot of the obelisk with that glorious tricolour trailing across the stage, we have the French DJ Midi ready to spin some tunes and keep the athletes on the move. They will be taking their place in the arena.
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
And first is Afghanistan. Fighter Ibrahim Danish, 23 years old, the sole representative for his country, will be competing in the para taekwondo. It's only the second time the sport will be contested at the Paralympic Games. "23 years old and carrying the flag of his country."
Afrique du Sud.
South Africa.
The Republic of South Africa has nominated 32 athletes to compete here in Paris, featuring in 9 different sports. Malolo Malongo and Kat Swanepoel from para-athletics and para-swimming are the flag bearers. Their most successful Paralympian ever was the recently retired swimmer Natalie Dutoit. 13 gold medals.
Algérie.
The North African nation of Algeria has a team of 18 athletes in Paris. Historically, most of their medals have come in athletics. Their flag bearers, Safia Jalal, is a thrower in her 6th Paralympic Games. She's won gold twice. She made her international debut at the World Championships in France 22 years ago. The other flag bearer is Mohamed Barlal, who will race and throw in the sport of athletics. He has won 3 Paralympic medals. Algeria makes its way into the opening ceremony.
Allemagne.
Germany has a strong contingent of 143 athletes, although their return of medals in Tokyo was lower than they expected. They finished 12th on the medal table, so they'll be chasing better results in 2024. The there's one person who carries more expectation than most, it's Marcus Rem. He's looking to stretch his gold medal winning long jump record to a 4th consecutive games. They'll have 27 competing in the para-athletics, 12 swimmers, teams in the wheelchair basketball, sitting volleyball and wheelchair rugby.
And for those of us who wear prosthetics, we appreciate all the work that Germany has done over the years in advancing that cause. They'll be strong in wheelchair basketball as well. Both men and women have qualified for the tournament, which is hard to do in team sports. People don't realize how hard it is to qualify.
Angola's delegation once again made up solely of para-athletes, as it has been for every edition since 1996. Juliana Nle Monko, 24 years old, will be competing in the T11 sprints. She returns after taking part in Tokyo. And alongside her guide runner Abru Sapalo, who will be assisting her in her bid for Paralympic success.
Arabie Saoudite.
Saudi Arabia.
The team from Saudi Arabia has 9 athletes in Paris competing in athletics, equestrian, powerlifting, table tennis, and taekwondo. The flag bearers, Galia Alanatsi from table tennis, one of only 2 women on the Saudi team. She says a friend encouraged her to try sport. That started as an experiment, turned out to be the most beautiful coincidence. Abdulrahim Al-Qarashi from athletics, first Saudi athlete to win a Paralympic medal on the track, a bronze in Tokyo. He's a contender in the 100 meters.
Argentina has a proud record of having competed in all the Paralympic Games. This time around, they brought 68 competitors, 19 of them in para-athletics, 12 in swimming. Unsurprisingly, they'll be represented in blind football. They picked up silver in that sport in Tokyo. Argentina's only Paralympic gold medal since 1996 came via sprinter Yanina Andrea Martinez, who triumphed in the women's T36 100 at the Rio Games.
Armenia.
A small but talented delegation from Armenia. Greta Vardanya blowing us a kiss there. She becomes the first Armenian to compete at 4 Paralympic Games. T54 sprinter and Sumbat Karapetan also classified in para-Nordic skiing and para-ice hockey. And Sargis Stepanyan is alongside them. He'll be competing in the shot put. He's also represented Armenia in arm wrestling.
Aruba.
The tiny but picturesque island nation in the Caribbean with a population of just over 100,000, making its 3rd Paralympic Games appearance. And for the 2nd Games in a row, there he is. Elliot Lundström will be the only athlete competing. He was a bronze medalist in Taekwondo at the Pan Am Games last year in Chile.
Austria.
Like Argentina, Austria has competed at every edition of the Paralympic Games. Most of their medals coming in table tennis, athletics and swimming. They'll have 24 athletes involved in Paris competition. Their contingent includes Natalia Ida, 2-time bronze medalist in the F13 javelin. Flag bearers Henriette Couche from para badminton and Peppo Puch from para equestrian.
Azerbaijan.
Well, Limina Valieva is the women's T13 400-metre champion from Tokyo. She also won silver in the T13 100 metres. And Imadine Kharkov in his 2nd Paralympic Games, fighting for a medal in para-judo. Azerbaijan won a massive 14 gold medals at the 2020 Games, with judokas topping their sports medal table, 6 of them taking home a gold medal.
Bahrain, the island nation on the Persian Gulf. Two competitors in Paris, both in athletics. The flag bearer, Zuruba Alomari, in her third games, was a bronze medalist in javelin at last year's Asian Games. And Hussein Mohammed, who was fourth in the 400 meters at this year's World Championships in Japan.
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh making a welcome return to the Paralympics after sending one athlete to the Games in both Athens and Beijing. In 2024, they'll be represented by Joma Akhtar and Al-Amin Hossain, both in para-archery.
Barbados.
That's Antoine Boyce-Vaughan, once again the sole competitor to represent Barbados at these Paralympic Games. He became the youngest and only third ever Paralympian to represent his country when he competed in the men's S950 metres freestyle event in Tokyo 2020.
Belgium.
Athletes from Belgium have competed in every edition of the Paralympic Games since 1960. Wheelchair tennis player Joachim Gerard, who has won at Wimbledon, the US Open, the Australian Open, and in doubles here at Roland Garros, one of the flag bearers. The other is Manon Cléas, who won 2 bronze medals in equestrian in Tokyo, names her teammate Michelle George as a major influence. And George is in the team as well. Most prolific medal winner for Belgium, 5 Paralympic golds in equestrian.
Benin, the French-speaking African country, has 2 athletes at these games. Both Faisal Achiba and Marina Hudalawan are backing up from representing their country in para-athletics in Tokyo.
Bermuda.
Now, what else but Bermuda shorts for Bermuda? Jessica Cooper-Lewis is becoming the first Bermudan to compete at 4 editions of the Paralympic Games. Tokyo, she was the only competitor, came close to an historic place on the podium, finished 4th in the women's 100 metres T53, and that's BC Boccia 1 player Yeshua Anjaj, who also took part in Rio, was flag bearer for Bermuda at the Pan American Games in Santiago.
Bhutan, the South Asian nation located in the eastern Himalayas, sent 3 athletes to Tokyo in their Paralympic debut. Just one made the Paris team, though. The flag bearer, there she is, Kinley Dem, from the sport of shooting, the 30-year-old who is coached by her sister, and she competed at the Asian Games last year. I'm going to guess that's her sister.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
A team of 14 for Bosnia and Herzegovina, 12 of whom are in their sitting volleyball team. Indeed, all 6 of the nation's Paralympic medals have come in men's sitting volleyball. The team reached the final at 5 games in a row from 2000 to 2016, winning 2 gold in 04 and 12 and 3 silver medals in that time.
Explains their size.
Botswana.
Edwin Masuge and Gloria Majaga will be on the track at the Stade de France, both 400-metre T13 para-athletes. Just the 1 gold medal for Botswana, who won it in 2004, their very first Paralympian. Tshelego Morama won the women's 400 metres T46 in Athens when she was just 17 years old.
Brésil.
Brazil.
Elizabeth Rodriguez Gomez and Gabriel dos Santos Araujo are the flag bearers. A 53 discus gold medalist is Elizabeth from Tokyo, and Gabriel picked up 2 gold and a silver in para swimming 3 years ago.
Brazil's men's goalball team took gold in Tokyo. In fact, has been on the podium at the last 3 Paralympic Games. And Bruna Alexandra will play table tennis here in Paris again. Again, I say, because she was on the Brazilian Olympic team this year as well. She is a 4-time Paralympic medalist. Always a strong team from Brazil.
Football 5-a-side. The Brazilian team has dominated Paralympic competition, winning all 5 gold medals since the sport's introduction in 2004. Most recently, they defeated Argentina in the final in Tokyo.
Good
There's
times.
a samba mood to the team, isn't there?
And who wouldn't want one of those bucket hats?
They'll be collector's items by the end of the games. Midi is famous for his sunny tunes. You can see the Paralympians absolutely loving the music.
Bulgaria.
Just one athlete on the Bulgarian team. It's the flag bearer, 49-year-old Stella Aniva. In fact, just one flag bearer on the Bulgarian team is Stella Aniva from athletics, who is back on the team after a 12-year hiatus. She won medals in throwing events in Beijing and in London. She has a degree in coaching and founded an athletics club for people with disabilities in her home city. Bulgaria has won a total of 17 medals since its debut in 1988. In fact, there are 3 athletes from Bulgaria.
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso being represented at Paris 2024 by Rahina Toé Monet, the 21-year-old anthropology student making her Paralympics debut. She's going to be competing in the 100 metres T13. Burkina Faso first competed at the Games in Barcelona in 1992.
Burundi.
A nation of 13 million citizens located in East Africa, Burundi. 2 competitors in Paris. The flag bearer, second-time Paralympian Adeline Musharanzigo, the 22-year-old in her 2nd Paralympic Games. And flag bearer, 5-time Paralympian Remy Nikobamezi, who will race in the 1,500 meters.
Heidelina Oliveira set to run in the women's T12 sprints. And Marison Fernandez Semedo ready to throw again in the men's F57 javelin. He's the 3rd Cape Verdean to make at least 2 Games appearances.
Cambodia.
Well, at their first Paralympic Games in Sydney, Cambodia entered the men's standing volleyball, the only time they've sent a team. And this is 38-year-old Van Fun, who will be competing in the 100 metres T54.
Cameroon made its Paralympic debut at the 2012 Games. In 2024, they have 5 competitors, 2 each in para-athletics and taekwondo. One of their flag bearers, the ominously named Marie-Antoinette Dassy from para-taekwondo.
Not a great place to be, the Place de la Concorde.
Canada, an early pioneer nation in Paralympic sport. The flag bearers on the left is Patrick Anderson, maybe the greatest wheelchair basketball player ever. And he is back for his 6th Paralympic Games, joined by veteran swimmer Katarina Roxen, the proud Newfoundlander who has a section of the highway, there she is on the right, named after her near her hometown of Kippens. Canada, big team, 128, including swimmer Aurélie Rivard, who has 10 medals, and wheelchair racing star Brent Lakatos, who has 11. Danielle Ellis is the captain of the #1 ranked sitting volleyball team in the world. Past heroes for Canada, names like Arnold Bolt, Stephanie Dixon in the pool, Chantal Petitclerc on the track. Canada's qualified teams in men's and women's wheelchair basketball and in rugby and goalball as well.
République centrafricaine.
Central African Republic.
Just the two athletes representing the Central African Republic, but it's the second games for Veronica Ndakara, who was her country's flag bearer in Tokyo. She competes in the F41 shot put. Teammate Louisette Komoto is in Taekwondo.
Got the beat. Chile, a steadily improving Paralympic nation, and Chile had never won more than one medal at a Games until Tokyo, when they piled up 6, and since proudly and ably hosted the Pan American and Para-Pan American Games last year, and Santiago did a brilliant job. Both of this year's flag bearers in Paris won double gold at those games. Camilo Campos in powerlifting and Francisco Kayolov in wheelchair tennis. A good, strong, hearty team from Chile.
République populaire de Chine.
People's Republic of China.
Medal table toppers in Tokyo, with the largest delegation at the Games, 290 competitors preparing to pull on their uniform for the People's Republic of China. And with 96 champions in Tokyo, competition must have been fierce for the honour to carry that flag. Well, it's gone to double Paralympic gold medalist Gu Haiyan, who won the women's individual and team foil wheelchair fencing in Tokyo, and Ki Yong Kai in the Tokyo 2020 men's under 59 kilo powerlifting. He was the champion. China has topped the medal table with more gold medals, more silver medals and more medals overall than any other nation in the last 5 editions of the Summer Paralympics.
Ever since Beijing was on the horizon, they have just become a dominant Paralympic nation.
So one of the greatest Chinese Paralympians remains Zhu Jing, a doctor who happened to be a para-athlete, introduced him to swimming. S6 was his classification, which includes swimmers like himself who have no arms. He won 3 titles and a bronze medal in Beijing, but finished with 11 Paralympic medals, including 10 gold by the time he was done.
Chinese team made history in Tokyo when they stood on the podium in wheelchair basketball. The women's team were silver medalists in that tournament.
Cyprus has competed at every Paralympic Games since they made their debut in 1988. Swimmer Carolina Pelendritou has competed at every Games since Athens and has won 6 of Cyprus's 8 medals, including all 3 of their gold medals. She's back once more at the age of 38 at her 6th Games.
Colombia.
A 78 athlete strong team from Colombia piled up 24 medals in Tokyo. I love the jackets, just love them. Carrying the flag is Paula Osso. Cycling, she's won Para-Pan Am gold and World Championship silver. And we saw Daniel Sereno, the dynamite swimmer, with 2 Paralympic golds and 12, yes, a full dozen World Championship gold medals. You can see why he's grooving there. Swimmer Sarah Vargas is back as well. Her second Paralympic Games. She was only 14 in Tokyo. Now a favorite. She's won 2 World Championship golds since Tokyo.
Mireille Nganga also getting down, 48 years old, making her Games debut. Served as a member of the Paralympic Committee of Congo. She's going to be competing in the shot put 50 F57, the javelin F56, and that's Emmanuel Grace Muambako, who went to Tokyo but didn't start in the 100 metres T11. A third appearance at the Games for Congo, having made its debut in Rio. It's a good evening to dance.
République démocratique du Congo.
Democratic Republic of Congo.
Pauline Mayombo Makendi is appearing at his second Games, having taken up para-athletics in his early 30s. He and fellow competitor Nancy Nsangasala are both in the F57 class for the Democratic Republic of Congo.
République de Corée.
Republic of Korea.
Korea, the host nation of the 1988 Seoul Paralympic Games. First time the Games were officially called the Paralympic Games. Also Korea's zenith in terms of podium prowess. They won 40 gold medals at those Games. This year's flag bearer Choi Yong-byum from paracanoe, former paddler in non-Paralympic sport, then lost his arm in a car accident and was back paddling again just 10 months later. Korea's most medals have been won in table tennis, and they have brought 17 athletes in that sport alone to Paris.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Well, you wait a long time for a medal, and Costa Rica won its first Paralympic medal in Tokyo nearly 30 years after its first appearance at the Games in Barcelona of 1992. And that is Andres Molina. He's going to be competing in the para taekwondo. Came close to the podium in Tokyo but lost his bronze medal match. Maria del Pilar Riveros makes her Paralympic Games debut, having been named flag bearer. She's 48 and an accountant by trade, but after waiting 30 years for a medal, Costa Rica got 2, courtesy of Sherman Guiti.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire will be represented by 3 athletes in para-athletics, powerlifting and taekwondo. The country made its debut in Atlanta 1996. Adu Arno came 5th in his powerlifting event in Tokyo. He's here again chasing a top 3 finish and is their flag bearer.
Croatie.
Croatia.
Croatia first appeared at Paralympic Games in 1992. Since then, 26 medals, 5 of them gold. The flag bearers, Dino Sinovic, took a bronze in the pool in Tokyo, is twice a world champion. And Andela Muzinic Vincicit from table tennis, she says she does 4 training sessions a day. She's a 2-time European champion, no surprise, and a 2-time Paralympic medalist. Among her many awards, she and her doubles partner Helena were named the Croatian best team for the first 20 years of this century.
Cuba.
Cuba.
Well, look at that. That's a legend right there, Omara Durand, a truly remarkable sprinter, unbeaten at the Paralympic Games since Beijing 2008. 100, 200 and 400 metre titles abound. She's got 8 Paralympic gold medals. She won 2 in London 2012, not knowing she was pregnant. She's been world champion 14 times. If there's one athlete you must tune into and watch and cover at these games, I urge you to witness this great woman's sporting prowess. Alongside her, Robiel Sol Cervantes, only 21, but comes to Paris to defend his long jump T47 title from Tokyo, 7 metres 46, by the way. He's also a 2-time world champion and won the Pan American Games crown in Chile.
Denmark.
12 of Denmark's 32 competitors comprise their wheelchair rugby team. Although the only team sport medals won by Denmark have actually come in goalball. Peter Rosenmeier, a 2-time gold medalist in table tennis, is appearing at his 6th Paralympic Games. And for Denmark, Tobias Jorgensen and Katrine Christensen, both in para-equestrian, are the flag bearers.
République Dominicaine.
Dominican Republic.
11 athletes in Paris from the Dominican Republic. The nation's been competing at Paralympic Games since Barcelona '92. The flag bearers, Darlene de la Cruz Severino, will race in athletics. She took a gold and a silver at the World Championships in Japan this year. The other flag bearer is 35-year-old father of 2, Jesus Manuel Rodriguez Valleo from powerlifting.
Egypt is the second most successful African nation at the Paralympic Games, behind South Africa, both in terms of gold medals and total medals. 12 of Egypt's 54 athletes this year are competing in powerlifting, a sport in which Egypt won 6 of their 7 medals in Tokyo. They will also be fielding strong teams in sitting volleyball and goalball. Rihab Ahmed and Ali Elzieni from powerlifting and rowing are their flag bearers.
What a glorious sight.
And the weather cooperating beautifully.
El Salvador.
El Salvador.
There's a man who knows the routine, Herbert Asiutuno. He is on flag duty for the 3rd time at a Paralympic Games. Until Tokyo 2020, no Salvadoran had won a Paralympic medal, and he picked up the bronze in powerlifting in the 59-kilo category. He's the only Salvadoran athlete to have competed at more than one edition of the Games. 21-year-old Rebecca Duarte will be competing in the boccia on her debut.
United Arab Emirates.
13 athletes from the United Arab Emirates. 6 are women. The flag bearer, Mariam Al-Zayudi, gold in shot put at the World Championships. Also, Ahmed Abdelwawi from cycling. He will race in the time trial and the pursuit races, as well as the road race. He'll be busy.
Équateur.
Ecuador.
11 of Ecuador's 14 athletes will be competing in para-athletics, the sport which yielded the country's first Paralympic medals in Tokyo 3 years ago. They won gold and bronze in the women's F20 shot put. Ecuador is attending its 10th Paralympic Summer Games.
Eritrea.
Sibhatu Kisete Well Demariam becomes the first ever Eritrean Paralympian. The African nation making its debut at the 2024 Games in Paris. He's a middle distance athlete and will be competing in the men's 1500 metres T54.
Espagne.
Spain.
Spain has been a force in Paralympic sport, especially since hosting the Games in Barcelona in '92, which were another benchmark Games for the Paralympic movement. The country has piled up so many medals that they will very likely surpass 700 all-time here in Paris. The flag bearers, Marta Arce from judoka, or is a judoka from judo, competing in her 5th Games, a 3-time Paralympic medal winner. Also has a master's degree in communication and sport journalism. She's also a mother of 3. She stays busy. And the other flag bearer is Alvaro Valera, a 5-time world champion in table tennis and a winner of 6 Paralympic medals. Spain, a big team, and we think will be a very strong team.
Estonie.
Estonia.
As a team of 5, including 3 swimmers for these games. One of those is Mats Topkin, who in Tokyo finished 5th in the S4 50-metre backstroke, one of Estonia's best results at those games. Laura-Liis Josalu and Robin Lixor are the flag bearers from swimming and triathlon.
Ethiopie.
Ethiopia.
Well, Ethiopia has 1 gold medal and 2 silvers on its medal roster, and a brilliant smile there from Yayesh Gapte Tesfor. She's the newly crowned world champion over 1,500 metres in the women's T11 classification. That's for runners with visual impairment. 4 minutes 31.77 seconds her winning time. And alongside 19-year-old Yetalyal Selesi Yegzor, who is also a middle distance man, running the 1,500 metres. He took silver in Japan at this year's World Championships.
Fiji.
Fiji.
The team from Fiji, 3 athletes, all first-timers at the Paralympic Games, all women, 2 in athletics, 1 in taekwondo. And she is 19-year-old Irina Mar, inspired to start the sport by her father and her coach. The other 2 athletes, by the way, Nabili Vatunsolo and Selina Seo, who trains 5 or 6 days a week, she says, has competed in multiple sports representing Fiji.
Finland.
Finland.
Finland will have 16 athletes competing across 6 sports. One of the stalwarts of Paralympic competition has been Leo Pekatati. Paris will be his 6th consecutive Paralympic Games, and on the track he's won 5 gold, a silver and bronze in the T54 100 and 200 metre events, and he is one of the flag bearers alongside Laura Kingasanimi, who is a para-equestrian.
Did you guys see me get all excited when I saw Leo Pekatati? I love him. He's so good.
Gabon.
Gabon.
Audrey Fabiola Menge Pambo, Gabon's first female Paralympian F57 discus. She putted the shot in Tokyo, and there she is grooving on down alongside Davy Rendell Mukanyi, who is the youngest Gabonese Paralympian to date in Tokyo. And he promotes parasport back home. 30 years old, so you're never too old to find a sport for you.
Gambia.
Gambia.
Gambia competing at the Paralympic Games since 2012, so London still looking for their first medal. 2 athletes will be chasing it. The flag bearer this time, there she is Fatou Kole in wheelchair racing. In athletics, she has also played for and coached the Gambia amputee football team.
Georgia, beginning its Paralympic journey in 2008, sent 1 athlete, then 2, then 5, then 13 to Tokyo. In Paris, they have 14. Their Paralympic medals have mainly come in judo and fencing, in which Georgia will again be well represented in 2024.
Ghana.
Ghana.
Ghana's adding para-taekwondo to the list of its Paralympic sports. Before now, there's been athletics, powerlifting and cycling, right back to 2004. Zainabu Issa is the 44-year-old. He'll be competing in the shot put and the discus. Tahiru Haruna, powerlifter, 30-year-old. She represented Ghana in para-arm wrestling at the championships in Ghana.
Grande-Bretagne.
Great Britain.
Well, the birthplace of the Paralympics movement, where, in very simplistic terms, Dr. Ludwig Guttmann began to promote his passionate belief in the power of sport to change life. His legacy acknowledged through the lighting of the Paralympic flame at Stoke Mandeville. And we can see Lucy Shuka, the wheelchair tennis player, runner-up in the doubles in Tokyo, bronze in the singles and in London. And Terry Bywater, the wheelchair basketballer, coming to his 7th Paralympic Games. Plays for CD Illusion in Madrid. He's also the European representative on the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation.
Grèce.
Greece has won 104 medals in Paralympic competition since 1976, and 20 of those have been gold. Arriving in Paris as their only Tokyo gold medalist is Anathasios Garbelis. He set a new world record twice in Tokyo in the T11 100 metres and ran 10.82 in the final. Greece will have representation in 9 other sports, as well as para-athletics.
Grenade.
Grenada.
Welcome back, Grenada. They made their debut at the rescheduled 2020 Games in Tokyo. No big crowds to welcome them there. And a return for thrower is Shona Charles. She's going to put the shot as well as throw the javelin, and joined by Tyler Smith, just 17 years old, the first man to represent Grenada at the Paralympics. Big moment for him.
Guatemala.
Guatemala.
2 athletes on the team for Guatemala, 2 flag bearers. Archer Juan Diego Blas, busy off the playing field too. Earlier this year, he was elected president of the America's Paralympic Committee Athletes Commission. And 400-meter runner Erica Villatori in her 2nd Paralympic Games. She was 5th at the Pan Am Games in Santiago last year.
Guinea.
Guinea.
The West African nation of Guinea has 2 athletes in Paris, both in para-athletics. 19-year-old Yamusa Silla and Kadiatu Bangura, appearing at her 2nd Games, and they are sharing flag-bearing duties for Guinea.
Leading the dancing.
Guinea-Bissau.
Guinea-Bissau.
So we have a volunteer carrying the flag, but Na Brinbande Dominguez becomes her nation's 4th Paralympian on the roster. Guinea-Bissau making its first Games appearance at London 2012. 3 years ago, Mama Silou Bari was the sole representative in the men's 100 metres T11.
Haiti.
From Haiti, a nation that's been competing at Paralympic Games since 2008. The flag bearer is the team's only competitor. There he is, Juanson Registrar. He's a shot putter. Tokyo 3 years ago, he competed. He'll try to better his 13th place finish from those games.
Honduras.
Honduras.
Oliver Cruz is 43 years old, sole flag bearer and competitor for Honduras, a graphic designer, and puts Michael Phelps as his inspiration. He's got a little wait to get into competition. The men's 50 metres S7 isn't until next week.
Hong Kong, China.
Hong Kong, China.
Hong Kong, China has an interesting Paralympic history, having won 131 medals since 1984, almost half of them in wheelchair fencing. And 22 of their gold medals have also come in that sport. And 7 of those goals belong to Yu Chue Yi. She is here once more at her 6th Paralympics. She's one of a team of 23 for Hong Kong, China.
Hongrie.
Hungary.
40 athletes on the team from Hungary made its Paralympic debut way back in Germany 52 years ago. It's a swimming nation, Hungary is, so we shouldn't be surprised. There's a connection with both flag bearers. Fanny Illis is a swimmer in her 5th Paralympic Games. She won gold in the 100 breaststroke at both the Paralympic Games and the World Championships. Swimming is also part of Hungary's other flag bearer sport. Bence Moksara competes in the triathlon. He was inspired by Tamás Sors, who won gold for Hungary in triathlon at the London Games.
India.
Sumit and fellow athletics competitor Bhagrishi Jadhav are flag bearers for India. He's been named on Forbes India's 30 under 30 list for 2024, highlighting the successful young people in India. He'll be defending his javelin F64 title from Tokyo. It's the second Games for Bhagrishi Jadhav. India claimed its first Paralympic medal of gold way back in 1972 in Heidelberg, but they were hard to come by until Tokyo, where they won more gold and total medals than all their previous games combined.
Wow. Wow is right.
'84 athletes.
Indonesia.
Indonesia looking spectacular, bringing a team of 35 athletes. 9 will be competing in para-badminton, a sport which provided their 1 gold medal in Tokyo. That victory coming after a 40-year gold medal drought. The rest of the team will be competing across 9 other sports. In total, Indonesia has 27 Paralympic medals.
République islamique d'Iran.
Islamic Republic of Iran.
Islamic Republic of Iran, the flag bearers, 51-year-old first-time Paralympian Mohammad Reza Mirshafea, who competes in shooting, and athletics athlete Hajar Safarzadeh, who is the world champion in the 400 meters. Iran is a volleyball nation. They made the gold medal match in sitting volleyball an astonishing 9 straight Paralympic Games. Morteza Murad is the sport's biggest star. He is quite literally the sport's biggest star. I'm trying to see if we can see him there in the crowd. He stands 2 meters 47. That is 8'1". They will be the favorites again in sitting volleyball. 65 athletes on the team from Iran.
Iraq.
Well, no Iraqi women have yet won a medal in the Paralympic Games. Fatma Souadi is hoping to change that one day, one of 4 women in the delegation of 20. But that's Iraq's first Paralympic champion, Faris Al-Jeli, at the other end of the scale, still competing 20 years after making his debut in the para-powerlifting. Gold in Athens, silver in London 2012, and a bronze in Tokyo.
So the Place de la Concorde and the Champs-Élysées.
Ireland.
For Ireland, a squad of 29 athletes. The great sprinter Jason Smith is finally not amongst them. He's working in the media this time, retiring after winning 4 T1300 metre titles in a row. But they do have returning gold medalists such as SB8 breaststroke champion Ellen Keane and visually impaired cyclist Katie George Dunleavy. They always acquit themselves well, Ireland.
Iceland.
Iceland.
Historically, most of Iceland's Paralympic medals have come in swimming. 4 of the 5 athletes on this year's team swimmers. Both flag bearers are swimmers. Sonja Sigardardóttir, the competing in her third Paralympic Games, and Mar Gunnarsson, who competed in 4 events in Tokyo, but he's decided to back down in just one race here, the 100-meter backstroke. He's going to put it all into that race.
Israël.
Israel.
2 hands on the flag, one goalball ace, Lihi Ben David taking the flag, one of the top goalball players in the world. She's in a team that always seems to just miss out on the medals. Maybe it will be different at Paris 2024. Holding the flag also, Adam Berdychevsky, here to play in the wheelchair tennis at his 3rd Paralympic Games. Proud to be in Paris after what's been a difficult time for him back home, where he lives on the kibbutz near Yitzhak.
Italie.
Italy.
Well, Italy has one of the bigger contingents in Paris with 135 athletes scheduled to compete. They hosted the first Paralympic Games in Rome in 1960, and they've sent athletes to every edition since. Cyclist Francesca Porciolato is appearing in her 9th Summer Paralympics. She won her 13th medal in Tokyo, competing at her 8th Summer Games, the most of any Italian athlete. Porciolato competed in athletics at 6 games from 1988 to 2008 before switching to cycling for Rio and Tokyo. A 3-time Winter Paralympian as well. S10 swimmer Stefano Raimondo is back for more medals, having claimed 7 in Tokyo.
Jamaïque.
Jamaica.
Team from Jamaica, after 4 athletes represented the island nation in Tokyo, just one on this year's team from athletics. He is 16-year-old Theodore Rashani Thomas, who will compete in long jump.
Japon.
Japan.
181 representatives for the country that hosted the Games so beautifully last time around. Yoshida An, the 50-metre butterfly swimmer, S7. And she's also going in the 200 metres individual medley as well. Ishiyama Daiki also holding the flag. He is a long jumper, won silver in the World Championships earlier this year. Japan's hosted the Games on 3 occasions, of course. 1964 in Tokyo, the Winter Games in Nagano in 1998, and of course 3 years ago in the delayed Games of 2020. They enjoyed great success on home turf, winning a first gold in athletics and cycling since 2008.
Jordanie.
Jordan.
7 of their 8 athletes will compete in powerlifting, leaving Ahmad Indi as their sole non-lifter, and he'll be in the F34 shot put for Jordan. He won that in Tokyo. Jamil El-Shebli won a powerlifting gold in Tokyo, and he's here again. He's also the owner of 2 silver medals from shot put events in 04 and 08.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan earned one of the 8 highly coveted spots in the men's sitting volleyball tournament. That is no easy feat. From that team, Berek Ismagan Betov is one of the flag bearers. He and his mates begin their tournament tomorrow against the host nation, France, at the North Paris Arena. The other flag bearer from shooting, Sevda Aliyeva, a multi-talented athlete who has represented her nation in shooting, in karate, and in dance. 44 athletes on the team from Kazakhstan.
Kenya.
Kenya.
Samuel Kimani, one of Kenya's multi-gold medalists, a T11 runner who claimed the 1500 metres crown in 2012 and 2016. That's Asia Sururu, the first female rower to represent Kenya at the Paralympic Games. She competed in Tokyo. She returns to the women's single sculls. She's also competed in para-badminton, wheelchair tennis, wheelchair marathons at international level. What can't she do?
Kyrgyzstan.
Kyrgyzstan.
4 athletes are here for Kyrgyzstan, attempting to win their country's first Paralympic medal. Female competitors will be involved in powerlifting, athletics and triathlon. And they have 1 athlete in the J1 judo event.
Kiribati.
Kiribati.
Let's welcome Kiribati to the Paralympic movement. Their first games for the Pacific Ocean island nation. One competitor, Onjio Timion, who will throw the shot put. In 2020, he was at an event in Australia, but in transit, he got stranded in Fiji during the pandemic, stranded for 9 months.
Kosovo.
And we might as well welcome Kosovo to the family as well. History maker Gremic Bitici, the first athlete to represent Kosovo at the Games, sole competitor in Paris, goes in the 1500 metres T46.
Kuwait.
Has 3 competitors here in 2024. Unsurprisingly, they're all in para-athletics. Their 12 Paralympic gold medals have all come in the athletic stadium. It's a similar story overall, with 45 of their total tally of 52 medals coming in para-athletics.
République démocratique populaire, Laos.
Laos has competed at every Paralympic Games since Sydney 2000. 1 medal, all-time powerlifter A. Sime won it in Beijing. This year, the flag bearer is Ken Theptida in the long jump.
Lesotho.
Lesotho.
Zemelesi Kamakane, just 19 years old, will be competing in the 400 metres T11. 4 men and 2 women have represented Lesotho at the Paralympic Games since it debuted in Sydney 2000, all para-athletes. And Yesitsu Kotalele, the only representative in Tokyo, she's got the flag as well, classified F54, but taking part in the women's F64 discus.
Lettonie.
Latvia.
8 athletes will be carrying the hopes of Latvia in Paris. The nation to date has accumulated 5 gold medals, won by just 2 athletes. Egars Arpanis has 4 of them in discus and shot put. Diana Krumina won the F56 javelin in Rio, and she has a silver and 2 bronze medals as well.
Liban.
Lebanon.
The team from Lebanon, Arts Zeradin, who started in sport as a fencer, is the flag bearer before switching over to athletics. He'll be the nation's only competitor for the second straight games. He was 6th in both the 100 and 200 sprints at last year's Asian Games.
Liberia.
Liberia.
Jatotu Koli is a multi-eventer. He's going to be running and throwing in the para-athletics. And Angie Myers, at 20 years old, is Liberia's 2nd female Paralympian, also taking to the field in the women's shot put F57.
Libya.
Libya sends 3 athletes to these games, including 14-year-old Abra Albalul, who'll compete in para-athletics. Powerlifter Ghazala Alakouri becomes their 2nd Paralympian to compete in 3 games.
Lithuania.
Lithuania, a nation that's been around for 1,000 years, competing in the Paralympic Games since 1992. 9 athletes in Paris: athletics, judo, shooting, and swimming. The flag bearer is 18-year-old Gabrielle Sepachute, 5th at the European Championships this year, looking to set personal bests in Paris at the La Défense Arena.
Luxembourg.
Luxembourg hasn't achieved a podium finish since 1984. Did come close in Tokyo. Their sole competitor, Tom Habscheid, placed fourth in the men's shot put. He's back again, hoping to go one place better. That was Katrin Koll. She's the competitor in the women's 100 metres T54, originally a dancer and played basketball.
Macao, Chine.
Well, Macau made its Paralympic debut in 1988. Only representative swimmer in Chengchong. That's 17-year-old Chi Hao Lai. She will be taking part in the long jump in the T20.
Macédoine du Nord.
North Macedonia.
In Athens 2004, Olivera Nakovska-Bekova became North Macedonia's third Paralympian and first female athlete to take part in the Games. She's their only gold medalist and is here taking part in her sixth Paralympics as her country's only representative.
Malaisie.
Malaysia.
After appearing in Heidelberg in 1972, Malaysia didn't get to the Paralympic stage until Seoul 1988. Have appeared in every edition since then, 32 competing in total. Olivera Nakovska-Bekova hitting the target in London 2012, winning gold in the P2 air rifle, of the air pistol, should I say. Fourth at the shorter distance in Rio, but then she was 6 months pregnant.
Malawi.
Malawi.
These are just the third Paralympic Games to have athletes from Malawi competing. In 2024, they have two sprinters with vision impairment, Esther Nagoli and Moses Masoya. They'll be in the 200 and 400 metres respectively.
Maldives.
Maldives.
And this is just the second appearance at the Paralympics for the Maldives, having sent two athletes to Tokyo. As then, both their competitors will be in para-athletics, and they share the flag-bearing duties tonight. Fatima Ibrahim and Abdul Samad.
Mali.
Mali.
5 representative athletes at the Games since 2000. In Rio 2016, Korota Tuma Coulibaly became Mali's first female Paralympian. She's back. And alongside 18-year-old Samba Coulibaly, who will take part in the sprints in the T13. He's the African champion.
Malta.
Team from Malta, 2 athletes. 24-year-old swimmer Maja Toma is carrying the flag. There she is. And so is 34-year-old sprinter Antonio Flores, back after a long hiatus. He competed in Beijing in 2008.
Rare thing in Paris, a break in the traffic. What a night, though.